Now next topic is cross region replication. Okay, you know region, right? Till now we are clear on the region. Now cross region. So you are creating a bucket. You are creating S3 bucket. I have told you we are creating S3 bucket in different region, right? Right. Last week we have created a S3 bucket in Mumbai region. Okay, though that uh, a single bucket is replicated in three different availability zone, company's requirement or government requirement is there, you have to copy your data in different region. Okay, or you are copying, actually you are copying your data in different region because you want the data available to that country also, right? Means right now you're working in India, so you have created a bucket in Mumbai, so you are copying your data in Mumbai region because it's near to you. Your transfer will be high in Mumbai region, but same data you want to be available to uh, Sydney region. Assuming that you have a Sydney client, okay, same data you want to be available to Sydney people, or Sydney, your website is on Sydney also. So you want, there are two way. So you will give the access to the all the users in Sydney. You will give access to your S3 bucket which is in Mumbai region, or you can create a new bucket in Sydney and copy whole data into that Sydney bucket. But the problem is that if you're putting your new data again and again, so you have to move your data manually. So to avoid that thing, features given by Amazon, it's called cross region replication. So whatever new things you are putting in Mumbai region, it will be directly replicated to Sydney region bucket. Are we clear what is cross region replication? So right now I have a bucket in North Virginia and I want to create a new bucket in Sydney and copy the whole new data which is in North Virginia into Sydney bucket. So that is what cross region replication means. Now S3 transfer acceleration. Okay. So coming back to the same diagram. So assuming that your bucket is in, now you have created a bucket, you're in North Virginia, but you are working from India. If you are copying your data from India to North Virginia bucket, you can see how much data path or network you are using, right? Okay, so your transfer will take time to upload your file to Virginia region. If it's in Mumbai region, it will be very fast. Okay, so for that also Amazon has thought about and given you a feature called S3 transfer acceleration. How it's work? What is it? First of all, S3 transfer accelerator enable fast, easy and secure transfer of a file over long distance between your end user and S3 bucket. I already explained what is this. It's very fast and it is used for transferring a long distance file. Okay, it take advantage of Amazon CloudFront. Again, Amazon CloudFront came. If Amazon CloudFront is coming, always think about edge location. We know edge location, right? So Amazon CloudFront, so it take advantage of Amazon CloudFront global distributed edge location. See, CloudFront and edge location will come in sync. As the data arrive at the edge location, it is routed to S3 over the optimized network. Okay, so how will it work? See, so okay. Previously, as I told, this diagram you have seen previously. Previously, assuming that you are in where is India? You are in India, okay, and your bucket is in this location. Previously, you are directly uploading your file directly to S3, okay, from here to here, right? But it is very long distance, so it is taking time. So what you can do, you can upload your data to nearest edge location. Okay, so every user, whatever the user are there, they are uploading their file to nearest edge location, and from there now Amazon will upload the file to S3 bucket using its dedicatedly high available network. Okay, so that is what is like it's written network yeah, optimize network path. Okay, optimize network path. So now it's Amazon responsibility. So how that data can be fastly uploaded to S3 bucket, which is very far. So Amazon might have their own network or backbone is available to them, okay, which is not over the internet. They might have the private network or anything. We are not concerned. Okay, so this is how it will be uploaded. So now as a user you will upload to your nearest edge location, and from there it is uploaded to S3 bucket. So this is going to be very fast if you are uploading directly from here to here. Does it make sense till here? Priyanka, what is transfer acceleration? So even edge location is used for caching your data from S3 to user also, but for if you're uploading your data to S3 also, edge locations are used. We talked about edge location. They are used for caching your data, whatever the data which is in S3 bucket, it is keeping a copy into your edge location as a cache. But if you're uploading the file, it was for downloading, right? But if you're uploading your file also, the edge location will come in picture if you have enabled transfer acceleration. Okay, so keep in mind it is not a free services. If you're uploading your file directly to S3, it is free. But if you are using edge location, means if you are using transfer acceleration, it comes with a price. Okay, but your data will move to S3 bucket very fast. So why I'm talking about prices here? Because many company time is also considered as a price, right? Many company wants the data to be uploaded to your bucket within a day, within hours, right? If your bandwidth is not the issue, if you have a very high bandwidth and you can check this thing also in via browser, is your accelerator will help you or not. Okay, if now in a company you want your data to be available to S3 within a day, because tomorrow is your production day, date is tomorrow, and your data is not uploaded to S3, you will opt for a transfer accelerator because you want your data to be moved very fast, right now. So you won't think about paying extra dollars if your data is available within hours versus your data is available in 2 days. Okay, now what is the point to be remembered while in our this session? So S3 is a object based, not suitable to install operating system or running any database. I told you S3 is a object based, not block object based storage device, not block based. All the hard disk or pen drive or any storing device which we talk about are block based. Okay, they are stored in binaries, but in S3 it is a object based. So if you try to install any operating system, it won't work. In S3 you won't able to install any operating system or any database. In your local hard disk you can install any operating system, right? You can install Windows, you can install Unix, any other operating system. You can install Mac also. In your pen drive also you can install any operating system. But in S3, though it is a storage device, you won't able to install any operating system because it's object based, not block based. Okay, this is very popular exam question again, because it they can give you a scenario. The user is trying to install an operating system and the storage device it has used and he is not able to do it. What can be the reason? He is installing in S3 bucket, he is installing in any pen drive or any other S3 service like EFS and EBS. We'll talk about EFS and EBS in future. So if you it is given to you three option. The user is trying to install operating system and he is getting error or it is not successful. What can be the reason? Option 1, he is trying to install in S3 bucket, he is trying to install in EBS, he is trying to install in EFS. So the correct option is he is trying to install in S3. Other two storing service, EBS and EFS, you can install operating system. They're just like hard disk. But S3 is not, is object based. You can install operating system or any type of database. You can store your file from 0 bytes to 5 TB. There is no upper limit of number of files, and there is no upper limit of storage in a single bucket. Files are stored in buckets. Okay. The S3 is a universal namespace. Your URL will look like something like this, and this is our CLI URLs. Read after consistency for put new object, eventual consistency for overwrite, put and delete. We talk about that. There can be a question where a user is has uploading a file and he is getting the old version. So what might be the reason? So because in overwrite you might access the old version. If you delete the file, still you might be able to access the file, but after couple of seconds the it will propagate to all the servers because it is it is copied to multiple servers. Okay, we talk about different classes. Standard classes, standard SC standard, durable, immediate data available, frequent access. S3 infrequent, durable, immediately data available, but you are not accessing the data immediately, infrequently. You are accessing the data infrequently. S3 one zone, infrequent access, same as S3 infrequent access. However, data is stored in single availability zone. These two we are storing in at least 3. I have shown you in that figure. You can see availability zone, 3 availability zone. Okay, one zone is stored in one availability zone. All other things are at least 3. Okay. Okay. Glacier, archive data, optimized for data that is infrequent access and take minutes to hour to restore. Deep Glacier, archive data, access lowest cost storage where data retrieval time can take up to 12 hours. Okay. Core fundamental of S3 object, key, basically name of your object, value, data, whatever the data is stored inside that S3, version ID, metadata, sub resources, bucket policy, bucket specific configuration of bucket policy, cross region sharing, transfer acceleration. These are related to your object, properties of your object. After successfully uploading your file to S3, you will get 200 status code in your CLI. You can turn on multi-factor authentication on your delete. We talk about that.